doesn't it hurt more her brand than, it helps the trolls in a way?
I want to alert you to Samantha Irvin. She was the ring announcer who almost made a name for herself, really, at WrestleMania this year by getting very emotional when she announced Cody Rhodes being the new WWE champion. And since then, she's garnered a lot of praise from all corners of, podcasts and wrestling media and all that kind of thing for just being very, very good at a job, really putting 100% into it. Now, why I mention this is because her fiance, a few months ago, Ricochet, essentially he felt he was being underutilized by WWE, and he decided to make a multi-million-dollar deal to jump to AEW, where he would really, for the most part, be working less, and then when he was working, he would be getting more ring time as well. People were up in arms about Samantha, probably about Ricochet leaving, actually, but especially about Samantha Irvin leaving. And this is going to be picking on WWE and AEW crybabies. Now bombarding, this isn't AEW, this is WWE, bombarding Samantha Irvin, her real name Samantha Johnson, for leaving WWE because she had aspirations beyond being a ring announcer. So she said, I quote, "I wanted to manage, maybe even become a general manager one day, but WWE saw no future for me besides announcer. I love watching the action, but I don't love being an announcer." Now she's said she's not going back to AEW. She is going to pursue one of her first loves, which is singing. She was on America's Got Talent as one of the finalists, or at least she was on the show at one point. And one of her early passions is singing, that she's going to make a go of it. But for some reason, this has just offended so many WWE diehards that she would dare leave a job for a passion.
This is another theme when we talked about the Rhea Ripley thing and going back at people on social media. You told me that Samantha is retweeting. That's what Disco does, right, on Twitter sometimes, Disco Inferno. He'll retweet the hate tweets that he gets. So she's doing that. I don't know. It sounds like this girl is super busy. She wants to, reactivate her singing career after years and years in WWE. And I, for one, if Tony Khan is throwing some sick money at you, some stupid money at you, and allow you to sing and pursue your singing career, and you get to be with your fiance, it's a win-win. I don't see her not going to AEW. I see that being a very flexible schedule. And dare I say it, if she was on America's Got Talent, and I didn't even know that because WWE never promoted or pushed this mainstream crossover talent that got signed by WWE. So they didn't capitalize on it. If Tony Khan and AEW can do that, and also Tony Khan and his dad probably have connections within the music industry. So I think politically it will probably serve her really well to get paid while also using AEW, Tony Khan, and the connections to become a big singer. Because if she becomes a big music superstar, it only helps AEW. Gives them more mainstream publicity. So I would say she's only talking about never jumping, but I think all the cards would line up, the money would line up, and her personal life doesn't suffer because she doesn't have to miss her fiance to get to spend time on the road together. Or maybe that could be a bad thing. Who knows? You are growing your hair out to piss your wife off. You told me that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Why not? Keeps it spicy.
What if you and your wife got signed by AEW and you had to be on the road together 24/7? How would that go?
Awful. Absolutely awful. Be at each other's throats. I tell you, since I was off for a few weeks, oh God, we could strangle each other. I think we've got a more combative relationship, me and my wife, than most. All we do is give each other grief. But it's weirdly, there was actually a study not too long ago.
Do you watch The Notebook and say, this looks like a documentary?
I've never seen The Notebook.
Oh, okay.
So I'll presume you're right on that. But no, there's a study recently that said couples who insult each other or just make fun of each other and just aren't gooey over each other all the time are more likely to stay married, weirdly.
Well, my wife goofs on good Lord, she gooses me too. I like that. She goofs on me all the time because I am a silly person. But I don't know if we insult each other and go that far or anything.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, imagine how boring life would be if you were just all polite to each other 24/7.
Now, once in a while, she'll ask me to run across the street or something because I run like Steven Seagal. So I'm pretty awful.
Hands down.
If there's not ropes like 16 to 20 feet apart, I can go about 16 feet in that direction or 8 feet, and I got to bounce off. But if I go beyond that, it's...
Oh, the Stevie Richards' wife, if you hear this, can you please film Stevie running?
We may try slow-mo like John Worthy and Never Lie to Me, or Never Lie to You. The slow-mo makes everybody look cool. We'll see if it does it for me.
Or Hoff. The Hoff.
Hasselhoff, the Baywatch run. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a beach near us. I might have to try that. But back to the serious matter of Samantha Irvin versus social media. We talked about the Rhea Ripley stuff, and you talked about a little bit dealing with some Twitter nonsense and stuff. I haven't been on social media in probably 6 weeks. Forgot I even had it until you brought the story up. When does it become the risk versus the reward of even being on social media or interacting on social media to this degree? Doesn't it hurt more her brand than, it helps the trolls in a way? Can't quite explain it right, but it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I definitely think that humanity has proved that they cannot handle having a voice on the internet for the most part. Let me give you some. I'm actually going to, you can't see this, Stevie, but the people can on my camera. Samantha is actually taking on the trolls head on, basically either telling them off for being idiots or retweeting some of the crap that they're... Here we go. All hate aside, you do sound extremely ungrateful for the opportunities you were given then to brag about your mediocre wrestler husband's bank balance was trashy. You'd better hope WWE takes your husband back after AEW and TNA finish using him poorly. Another one. Go to AEW, get paid that money to be in front of no one, you slut. That's someone pretending to be a girl, I guess, or an actual girl. You are pathetic and ungrateful, retweeting stuff, bad-mouthing the WWE Universe. Triple H allowed you to make millions of dollars and meet that midget inbred you call a man Ricochet. You are beyond pathetic, and you realise that weak wimp couldn't protect you from the WWE Universe. A couple more. You need to get yourself tested for mental issues. Wow, you're a loser. Mysterial, just more stuff about Mysterio. It's weird people have a problem with Ricochet having matches and his girlfriend being proud. What a weird world. Oh, that's actually a nice one. But it's... Why do people hold a candle, hold a torch for these billionaire companies who see you as you said before, you're an NCP. You're a customer.
NPC. Non-player character.
NPC. Yeah, you're a non-playable character. Why do these people, who I swear have no lives, they cannot have lives, or they're just like purposely being trolls? Like, why do they hold the torch for these billionaire companies who see you as nothing but a customer? It's like the gaming wars. It's like Xbox and PlayStation. Well, they're both games, and just like what you like. I don't understand this hatred for someone leaving a company to go and do something else. Why do they feel personally betrayed by this?
Well, I mean, it's a tale as old as time. Tribalism. You want your team to win. We're going through an election right now. We're a week away at the time, less than a week away at the time of this recording. It's tribalism. You want your team to win. Everybody takes a very personal approach to what they like, and if you don't like what they like, or you don't hate what they hate, they turn on you. It's a situation sometimes people eat each other. They eat themselves as they do it. I would say the blame falls on both ends. In other words, Samantha Irvin did not even need to put this out on social media. She just needed to focus on her brand, her business, her future, all those different things. Or just make it a one-way conversation. If you want to use Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media, or even YouTube as a promotional tool to do what you need to do as a business and a brand, that's fine. We live in a world, we live in a society, and I don't know how long it's been this. I don't know if this is a tale as old as time. The tribalism is definitely something that's ingrained in society. Every human being, no matter what country, no matter what you like or dislike, sports, media, movies, entertainment, pro wrestling, This show, technology, iOS, Android, all that stuff you're always going to have picking sides going on. I like this iPhone, therefore Android is garbage. You have to justify.
I mean, you're right.
I am right.
You're absolutely right there.
Right. Thank you, Android fans, for subscribing. So Patreon, you don't get charged the 30% upcharge like iOS. So Android's better when it comes to Patreon. But that's all it is. Now there's another effect too. It's the boiling pot with the frogs or the crabs or whatever in it. People instinctively, for some reason, rather than trying to lift themselves out of the boiling pot to not boil anymore, they see someone else escaping. What do? I got to pull you back in so you suffer with me in misery. I wish people, because it's an amazing feeling, doing what we do every day of the week, trying to build a brand, build a business, build a show. I love producing content. I love editing. I love learning at 53 years old. And learning means also what we talked about on the pre-show. When I learn from you, when I learn from Chris, when I learn from my wife or anybody else, I'm learning something, say SEO, thumbnails, titles, whatever it might be. I go to you because you know more than me. You have a better success rate using those elements with your YouTube channel. When I was wrestling and before I was wrestling, I seeked people out that were successful in the business, that were higher on the card, that were booked more, that were having better matches, that were better wrestlers, that could convert sales, the fitness industry. I consulted with YouTube channels and influencers or people at affiliate businesses and said, can you share any secrets or any information of how you do this? Because they were more successful. And I still do that. Instead of saying, somebody's doing really good work. Let me see if I can drag them back down. It's based on jealousy. It's based on insecurity. And I wish, instead of saying they don't deserve to have a voice, they don't deserve to have this or that, they don't deserve to have any platform, I would ask those people or actually challenge them and borderline beg them, please, find your passion. Find what makes you feel alive, what makes you want to wake up in the morning, motivates you, inspires you, and focus on that. And try to be the best person you can with that. It's always going to be that way. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, so obviously someone gets traded to the Dallas Cowboys. My inner child of being an Eagles fan is pissed off. But that's the basis of our core tribalism beliefs. You're laughing. What are you going to say?
Hey, no, well, I've written that down. You're a Philly Eagles fan. You're a Star Trek fan. But, let's say, okay, Scott Bakula, yeah, I know he's in one of the later Star Treks, drops that and goes to The Mandalorian. It's like, how dare you go from one franchise to another? Is this fairly unique, the level of vitriol? Because it just seems that the stakes are so low as well. It's like she's not even moving to AEW.
It doesn't matter. Yes, it's absolutely the same exact thing. And
it's like when the stakes are lower, it gets more vitriol. That's what, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but pro wrestling, here's the thing about pro wrestling. Now, football, American football, European football, baseball, whatever, I think it caps off a little bit for some reason because the sports teams, and even in football, most of the people don't know the faces of the football players. They know their numbers, they know their name on the back, they know the positions, and they confused it even more because now you have wide receivers with number 8. It used to be kind of sectioned off per position. So that's just a little Easter egg for that. I don't like that. I wish they would have kept the numbers the way they did. But pro wrestling, what's its greatest strength, what keeps the lifeblood and the heartbeat of every pro wrestling company, it like growing and beating and keeps it alive, is that raw emotion of the wrestling fans. Which, dare I say it, back in the day when they believed it was real, imagine if they had social media then, they'd want to kill people. They legitimately wanted to kill the wrestlers, the heel wrestlers in Memphis and, New Jack and Smoky Mountain Wrestling. They legitimately wanted to murder some of these guys. Imagine if social media and New Jack was like, here I am at the Perkins and I'm checking in. They're like, oh, okay. It would actually be worse than it is now. They're really it's just words over an internet connection. When it gets dangerous is when it gets to the Sonya Deville and that kind of stuff. That's where, in wrestling fans, that's the other part of the double-edged sword. The greatest strength is eliciting raw emotions, energy, love, hate, the most powerful emotions, even jealousy. All three of those. Now you go to the other end of the double-edged sword, and now they want to type, they want to come at you. You give them access through Twitter, social media, and then sometimes, and hopefully not very many, it morphs and it grows and it festers into a Sonya Deville situation. And they can tweet at her all day long. I just hope somebody isn't that mad at her where they're going to be waiting for her or go somewhere she's going to be. That's when it becomes pretty scary.